21st century methods and techniques for teaching. And we realize that when we talk of methods and techniques, though they are used interchangeably, but there are differences among them. Said that, yes, both of them are all instructional activity, but one of them is used virtually throughout the lesson, whilst one is used within a short period of time, within a lesson, a relatively short period. And so we realize that when we say teaching method, this is an instructional activity which spans through the entire lesson. So when you say you are using question and answer methods, it means that you are using the question and answer throughout your lesson. But the moment you say question and answer technique, then it means that you are using that in an aspect of your lesson and not all the areas of the lesson. Then from there, we said that there are two major approaches when it comes to the various methods. We have that of the learner-centered approach, and that is where the learner is actively involved in constructing his own knowledge with the teacher's assistance or support. And that is where we talk about the expository, the inquiry, experiential, project-based, case studies, group discussion, among others. Then we have the teacher-centered or instructor-centered, which is more of the teacher determining most of the information, where the students are just recipients of knowledge, recipients of information. They are just passive learners in this context. So this is the difference between the teacher-centered and learner-centered. Then from there, we looked at problem-based learning, experiential learning, among others. From there, and we also looked at the 21st century geography teacher, where we said that the 21st century geography teacher is the one who is able to utilize technology in the teaching and learning of geography, and also be well advanced so far as global issues are concerned. Because we live in a global village, so as a professional or 21st century geography teacher, you should be very up to date, very current with global issues. You have to have a global mindset, among others. Then I think we also discussed the skills, 21st century skills, which these skills are very integral in the teaching and learning of geography, where we talk about the critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, collaboration, communication, and a number of the skills that we discuss in that regard. So any question on these, what we did last week? Did I give you the 21st century teacher the slides?
Yes, bro.
Okay. So today we are left with our last course, our last unit, which is classroom management. Classroom management. And we are saying that as a teacher, classroom management is also one of your important area that you must pay attention to it. The reason is that if your teaching will be fruitful, then the kind of environment or the classroom environment you create also goes a long way to help you achieve a successful instructional activity and lesson in your classroom. Did you say that you have the 21st century geography teacher, the 21st century geography, you have the slides? Stephen, do you have the slides?
No, please, I'm checking. But
okay. So the question is that the kind of environment you create in your classroom is very, very important. So we want to know what we mean by classroom management. When we say classroom management, what are we talking about? Now, classroom management refers to the wide variety of techniques and skills that teachers use to keep students organized, orderly, focused, attentive, on task, and academically productive during what? A class. So when we talk of classroom management, we are talking about the various strategies, the various measures, the various techniques and skills that you, the teacher, put in place to ensure that students are well focused, they are attentive and well organized so far as the lesson that you are going to deliver is concerned. So all the things that you put in place to ensure that at the end of the day, you achieve your lesson or goal by creating that enabling environment is what we term as classroom management. Yes, Stephen.
sir, please, we don't have the slides, please.
Okay. Then you can also say that it is a process that teachers guarantee the classroom instruction, the order, the effectiveness, deal with some matters, and arrange the time, space, and some other factors. And we are saying as a teacher, you must recognize the relationship between how students behave and the nature of the learning environment you find yourself and the existence of the learning community within the classroom. You see, if you can create a very enabling and a good classroom environment for lessons to take place, you must first know how your students behave. That's why in the planning, as a teacher, we talk about the first principle as know your students. Know their strengths and weaknesses, their behavior, their abilities, their maturity level, how they are placed, their attitude, the way they behave will influence the kind of classroom strategy you must put in place. The nature of the learning environment. Is the classroom conducive or is such that it creates noise naturally? Especially when you are living in a classroom where there's no proper ventilation. There's no proper air coming in. The room is hot. The roofing sheet without any T&J to absorb some of the heat. And they are sitting in the classroom and they are fanning themselves, they are sweating. These things does not create a good environment. Or the room is overcrowded to the extent that there are no even airspace to walk through. These things do not create good learning environment. So that's why you need to be able to create a very good classroom environment. You must first know how your students behave, the nature of the learning environment you find yourself in the classroom. And even the vicinity that you find yourself, the learning community. These are very, very important. Now, let's look at some principles of good classroom environment. Principles of good classroom management, sorry. We are saying that as a teacher, one of the principles that you have to bear in mind in order to create a good classroom management is know your learners as individuals. We are saying know your learners as what? Individuals. Not as a class. Not as a group. So as individuals means that you must know the individual strengths and weaknesses of the learners know their learning styles, their behaviors, their maturity level, their abilities, aptitudes, which will accumulate in how you model the lesson to meet their needs. So if you can create, that's why if you look at the revision, you have to recognize the relationship among student behaviors. So if you don't know your students, if you don't know their strengths, their behaviors, their attitude, their aptitude and abilities, their maturity level, how can you create that enabling environment for learning, teaching and learning to take place? That is very important. So you must know your learners as individuals, not as a group, not as a class. Also, you must plan and organize both the classroom and the lesson to keep learners interested and minimize the opportunities for disruptions. How do you achieve this? Some of the ways you can achieve this is how your furniture is arranged in the classroom, your furniture layout. At least in the arrangement of the furniture, there should be a floor space where people can walk through from the back and come to the front and even move out of the room. So the classroom arrangement, the furniture arrangement is very important. Well, if it is overcrowded, people cannot get space, which they have to walk on people's desks or tables before they can get. It can create a problem, a distraction. Then when you are grouping learners, you must also bear in mind so that those who are talkatives or those who are good alone will not fall into one group. That is why in the standard, when you are forming group, we talk about mixed ability group forming. You should make sure that the group you are forming, the members who have different learning abilities or mixed gender issues, abilities, and all those things are within certain groups. You don't put all of them, you blend them within groups. So that at the end of the day, they will also come to terms with some of the things that they are doing. Then you also have to match learners' work according to their abilities. Yes, you cannot give a task that is beyond the student's ability. He will give up. So it is also important that we bear in mind that whatever task we are giving to the learner is within his ability or capacity to be able to do it. Because if it is beyond them, they will give up. And if it is also below them, they will fool around. So it is your responsibility. That's why you must know your students as an individual, so that you are able to figure out and prepare to meet their needs, interests, and their ability to also perform, given the opportunity. The next thing is you must also check the pace of your lesson. Very important. You must not rush them through. Some teachers, when they are just like they want them to finish and go away, so they end up rushing students through. So you should not be rushing them through, or it should not be so slow. That will make them boring. But at least it should move within the acceptable range. That's what talking about the pace of your lesson. You are not rushing them through. You are not moving too fast. You should also be so slow. So it should be within the acceptable range that where the learners can easily follow what you are trying to talk about. Then as a teacher, you must also be enthusiastic and use humor to create positive classroom atmosphere, which is very, very important. Be enthusiastic as a teacher. Wherever school you find yourself, for now that you are there, be so much interesting in whatever you do in the classroom. Yes, maybe you didn't like the place you have been posted there, but for now that you are there, be so interesting in whatever you are doing there. Create that sense of humor. Welcome the learners. Let them see that you are a receptive. You are very warm, that warm reception. You are someone who is accommodating, that they can trust in you so that they can freely approach. Because you are not just only there to teach, you are also a role model that you are supposed to impact positive things in the life of the learners. The next principle we want to talk about is that you must be flexible in order to take advantage of unexpected events. rather than being thrown off balance by these events. And we have already talked about this in the teacher planning, that flexibility is key, because you cannot predict anything that may happen in the classroom. Some things may happen, you may not have control over it. So what you need to do as a teacher is to be very flexible, so that in case of any happenings that you did not anticipate, you will not be so much affected or thrown off balance. That is why you are not supposed to be so fixated on what you want to do. Because, like I said, what if you are teaching and the student vomits? Will you shun the student and go ahead and teach? That will not be fair. You must stop and attend to the student. What happens, you are teaching and you are called that the regional director of education wants to meet you? So these are things that you may not have control over it, that you must be able to give room. What if you have planned your 1 hour, but in the course of the process, you realize your students are not getting it? Will you continue to rush them through and go away? You can't do that. That's why we want it to be flexible as much as possible. Also, as a teacher, you must continually observe or scan the behaviors of the class. Teachers, you must have an eagle eye to be able to scan through the class to see those who are misbehaving and not paying attention. In fact, those students who like misbehaving and do not disrupt classes and misbehave so much, they are not interested. They don't like sitting in front of. Most of them will sit at the back and be fooling within. That's why you should be mindful in your teaching. You are able to scan through every corner of the class to detect some of these behaviors and deal with them. But if you are when you are sitting there, if you are sitting down teaching, you will not be able to see all those at the back, and at times becomes problem. So you must continually, that is not one spot to, it's continuous, continually observe or scan the behaviors of the class. You must also be aware of and control your behavior as a teacher, including how you talk, how you stand, how you dress in the classroom, your tonation, the way you speak, your voice. It shouldn't be that you are shouting on your student, you are aggressive towards your student. You have to be fair, be candid, be humorous to your students. And you must also model the standard of courtesy that they expect from you as a teacher, and what you also expect from your learners. You are their role model. The kind of behaviors you exhibit, they will also emulate some of them. So you must model a standard of good courtesy, good behavior, so that your learners will also emulate. That's what we call leadership by example. If you, the person, are not living by example, how do you expect your people to live by example? Or you want to be the pastor who say that, oh, you do what I say, but don't copy me. As a pastor, you must live by example, because you are leading the flock. The flock will always follow the shepherd. The sheep will always want to follow the shepherd. So as a shepherd, you must lead them to the right path, the path of righteousness, and not the path of destruction. The same way, you must also lead the children, the learners, the path of righteousness, and not the path of destruction. And I suffer Crispin. And this are.
Doctor.
For example, you look at this dressing in the classroom. How do you expect students to pay attention? How do you expect students to pay attention? Look at the boy who was supposed to write. He's smiling. Look at the boy who is supposed to pay attention to what madam is writing. He is so much fixated on some points. That Coca-Cola statement is smiling. These days, we don't take it to class. But these days, you see teachers going to class with some of these dresses. It is very not acceptable.
Doctor, I have had experience to share about some of these things. I remember when I was in GHS3.
Go ahead.
When I was in GHS3, I was sitting in front with a friend. And our tree madam, there was a table in front of the class. So she was standing beside the table, and she decided to bend down. So around her chest, everything was showing. And the next thing I could hear my friend was to shout Jesus. When he shouted Jesus, and we
The
all
blood of
started laughing.
Jesus, the blood of Jesus.
He shouted Jesus, and myself, we went out and we started laughing. And that was it. He never came to our class till we completed the BEC.
Yes, because so you know. Okay, look at this picture. You forget about the black American guy. Focus on the Ghanaian picture. You see, look at the jeans that the madam is wearing. You could see that the jeans, the pants has even drawn in the jeans. Have you seen it? So you see these things, and interestingly, teachers have been wearing these tight jeans to school. They will say Friday wear. They will be wearing Lacoste with these jeans. I remember I've been to Adesada basic school to supervise on Wednesday, which is worship. And these teachers were wearing the school Lacoste with jeans, and they were very tightened. Oh, and these things, we don't wear these things with such pants. At the social side, I said you have to wear seamless pants. Seamless pants. And I did it. Is that also?
Yes, sir. Dog, yes.
You wear seamless pants so that you not show. But what I'm trying to say is that it is not good to be wearing this and standing in front of the class. These things are distractors. No, 21st century madam does not mean that come and wear explosive words to come and distract your students. You see. So please, our madams, as for the gents, in the I said we said timber dear. Will be yakono. It's the end to fix and promotion. But I say my Coca-Cola in a frontage. To me create a whole traffic on its own. About the size and banner comment here and begging for no ground or more comment. So you see, so all what we are saying is that some of these things you must check it. You must check these dresses. Dresses that are too tightened. No, you must avoid. And as some of them, you are not even able to bend. And when you are bending to, you are so much careful. These things are things that you must avoid any controversy. As I go boys school, now yes, I am here. Yeah, there's a back account. Now let's continue more with the principle. We are saying that the next principle is that as a teacher, you must make rules for classroom behavior. And these rules that you must be clear with your students and share with them. It must be done during the first lesson or your first meeting with the student, and explain why these rules are necessary and why they must abide by it. That's why with your first meeting with the class, you must spell out your rules of engagement. Let them know your do's and don'ts, what you like and you dislike, so that you also ask of their expectation for your first meeting. Because see, the kind of classroom discipline tone that you set in the first week of your class will go a long way to determine how your classroom is going to shape. So it's very important, please. Then you must also make sparring and consistent use of reprimands. One, we are saying that how do you achieve these things? We are saying that being firm rather than being aggressive, which I've talked about that. You target the right people and deal with them. And this is one thing I want to stress is criticizing the behavior and not the person. Criticizing the behavior and not the person. Some of you, the teacher, when a student does something bad, for example, we say you should stop talking. and you're still talking. Address that misbehavior, not attacking the person. So instead of you to say, hey, John, I told you not to talk, you are talking. Don't you know that when you are talking, you are disturbing other colleagues or other students? That's why I said, don't shouldn't talk. When you talk, I'm going to cane you. Even if still he's talking, what you have to do is to cane. And by some of you go to the stand and say that, hey, didn't I tell you not to talk? Look at his face, his head like a coconut head. Hey, can you create someone's head? The moment you say, look at his head like a coconut head, you are attacking the personality of the person, which is wrong. You must criticize the behavior and not the personality. Then you might go feed the those kind of things are not acceptable to be used on your learners. Criticize the behavior and not the personality. You must also use, at times, the use of private reprimands works better than public one. There are some students that the more you punish them before their colleagues, it's in the classroom for everybody to see. When you do that, there are some students, that's why you empower them. I've seen students which was misbehaving that they were caning him before the whole school. And he folded his arm, took the canes. After the canes, he gave thumbs up to his members and they were giving him fans. The whole school is giving him fans. Who teach and who go on and what did it mean? So at times you can use private reprimands to handle such students. Maybe break time, you can call that child and explain certain things to the child why he's not supposed to do the things that he's doing. And the consequences of the things he's doing. At times, this is work also better than you speaking to them harshly in public and trying to embarrass them. Okay, for let's say you say you have some students in your class. Let's hear you. Share with us.
Yes. So there is this boy in my class that he can keep quiet, like he won't talk, nothing. But immediately you are punishing those who are disturbing, then he will talk for you to punish him. So that's how he is. He will not do anything. But if those who are disturbing, like you call them, you are punishing them, or you are doing something, that's where he will talk so that he will be included in it. So that is that boy. So I always tell him that the next time I see him doing that, but still he continues doing it. I don't know. He continues doing it. He won't talk. When you tell them keep quiet, he will keep quiet. But immediately you see that you've mentioned his colleagues who are talking, then he will start talking so that you call him too.
Yeah, it's open also of attention to such people that you don't have to. But you see, some of these students will get to a place to look at how to handle such students. And people who are very disruptive, no matter what you do, they want to still test the waters. You get there, we'll see how you can, we'll share with you some of the things that you can use to handle them. Okay. We are also saying that you must be fair and consistent. Be fair and consistent. Very, very important. You see, when you're a teacher and you are fair to everybody and consistent, it creates an atmosphere where people can believe your judgment. But when you are not consistent and you are flip-flopping, it becomes a problem. For example, we have established rules that if you come to school late, you are going to get some lashes. You get some lashes. And that is the rules we have set, 3 lashes. When Amma came, or Mary came, Mary was given 3 lashes. Joseph came, he was given 3 lashes. You go to Janet, and the teacher is now trying to find out, hey, Janet, why are you coming late? Don't you know that you are not supposed to come late? Or is it because your mother was not feeling well? Janet has not said anything. Don't stop giving excuses for Janet. Is it because you have something doing with Janet? Or because Janet is your relative? Or because you know the mother? Since you failed to ask those things why they were late and you caned them late, even if Janet is your girlfriend, you have to cane her. So I tell my student that even if Janet is your girlfriend, cane her the trick. And when he close from school, make sure you don't allow Janet to go home. Or you not eat. Both the physical and the emotional food. So what you do is that right after school, and when the moment you see everybody's going, Janet is going, you have to be fast and crisscross Janet. And when you crisscross, don't stand to experience, just kneel down and beg. Like Janet. So that she can forgive you. Other than that, you will not get physical food, emotional food, spiritual food, and all the food that you need to satisfy your soul and your body and your spirit. But what we are trying to say is that you must be fair, be consistent when applying classroom rules. Yes, your yes, be here. Don't be shifting goalposts. And let me tell you, see, the students of today, they are very smart. They can read in between the lines. If care is not taken and you continue like that, by the time you realize, they will be using your name to call Janet. And they also use Janet, they will be calling Janet with your name. Then when they see Janet, they will be calling Janet with the first name. So we are saying that in applying classroom rules and measures, be fair to all manner of your students, irrespective of their background, irrespective of Augustine, share with us, you have experience. Was it your girlfriend? Was the student your girlfriend, Augustine Mafu? Share your experience with us.
Dog, she actually wasn't my girlfriend though, but
you knew the parents.
No, it was a service personnel whom they assigned to my class.
Oh, okay.
So most of the times I sit with her, we talk. I even help her during her licensure exams. So one day I was there,
okay.
and my students came to me that they want to discuss something with me. So I was like,
okay.
Wow, what is it? Sir, they came and told me, sir, the way I only Madam of Fatah Pound, lie. I was like,
and Colonel reading between the lines.
Like serious. And not knowing they've got for 2 weeks.
Finish.
And they've even grouped to talk about it. The one day they will tell me. So they gathered the them to come to me and tell me, say, the way a madam only it will happen, your lie or your spec. I was like, wow, of a time pa.
Hey, that should tell you that the children are very, very observant.
21st century children.
So, pardon?
Doctors, I said they are 21st century children.
Yeah, 21st century children, their mind is more or less like a computer. Okay. Any other experience? Any other experience? Hey, our females, they don't have any experience. Judith. And Mabel, you don't have any experience to share?
Wow. Any experience too.
Oh, okay. Hey, who was the prophet who spoke to Mafu? Okay, the student. Okay, I get it.
I was. Hey.
Yeah, Mary, go ahead.
Okay, I was in the staff one morning and I received a letter from one of my students. I just opened the letter and read it. And what he was trying to insinuate was that he likes me and he wants me to wait for him so that I become his future wife. And it was a male student who was proposing to me that he likes
Hey,
me. So that was my experience that I want to share.
hey, the blood of
Thank you for
Jesus.
sharing. But that's now the blood of Jesus. Oh, when you marry, who marry no? So what mean cafe? The students never proposing. Oh, that now.
Mary, I'm sure that you really have the specs. That is why the students did that.
And this student, is it a secondary? Is it a secondary school or junior high school student?
So it's a junior high school JHS3 student who is proposing to me.
But for me, I know Mary. Mary is a very nice woman.
Marv, how did you know? How did you know?
Oh,
It's
I've
okay.
been visiting her. I've been visiting her.
Hey, Augustine.
See, Obesha na nyame nkukọ. Nyame mba na worry. Obi aso nyi onya na ponchi na okọ repreko. Let's ya na ebe ware ya mo obi anyi obe ware oba abe. Nti ya that's one of the functions later we call it latent function of education. Yes, we came in for knowledge and experience all together, but there's one function or what we call latent function of education. We acquire other skills and other things that was not the sole focus of why we're in the school. So carry on. I encourage you, Stephen, Augustine, visit more. If only Mary is not connected, it's not hooked up already. I will encourage you to visit more and allow those who are behaving like a saint. You are in the
Thank
night,
you, sir.
they go to their bed and they are crying.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. God bless you, sir. God bless you.
When the Bible said watch and pray, he didn't say pray and go and sleep. You watch as well. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, so we're also saying that as a teacher, one of the things you must do, you must avoid sarcasm and also ideal threats, making sparring and consistent use of what punishment. You see, there are some teachers, I say them, bottom no pull on can. There are some dogs, when they start barking, and you still come forward and approach them. You see that the more you are approaching them, they are also retreating. Instead of them to also pounce on you and worry, they don't do that. There are some teachers, hey, John, if you don't know any talk again, you see what I'll do to you. John will still be talking. Didn't I tell you not to talk? You, John, you are worrying me. Be very careful. This same John is talking again. You go and tell them that you did not get me. Pay for so almost small. I catch almost away. When now 100%. 1, 2, there must be a sanction to serve as a deterrent to others. But we can say a Kasawan fair, who posts wood to make car. It becomes a problem. After we are quite yes, man, I catch and say, when you will be honest, man, when you simple. No, but sanction is not necessarily beating. When you say sanction somebody, it doesn't mean it's beating the person with cane. There are a lot of ways that you can handle them in that regard. Then another thing you must also avoid is to avoid punishing the whole class for the sins of some few people in the class. Avoid whole group punishment. And the annoying thing that some of the people they do is that when they come, when the teacher comes to the class, do you know the question, the first thing they ask? Can you tell me when they come to the class and people are misbehaving with a cane, what first thing do they normally say in a class before? The question they ask. Anyone?
Who are those disturbing?
Who are those disturbing? So the question is, who are those? That means that it's not the whole class. The teacher acknowledged the fact that it's not all the members in the class who are disturbing. There are some people. So the question is, why don't you fish out those people? If you cannot, the next thing that you are supposed to do is to task the class captain or someone to write names of those who are talking. But you did not fish the people out. And because the class also failed to hold them up, then he said that they should all suffer for it. Then you lash them. A punishment like this one, like this one. See the video there. Have you seen it? Have you seen the video that the man in white caning some student?
Yes, Doc. Yes.
You see. So this. So these are things that we are saying as a teacher, please avoid this whole class punishment matter. Some of you, the teachers, you want to show, say, hey, everybody should fear you because of your canes and those things. Master, it doesn't bring anything good.
Oh.
Yes, please.
Oh. Yes,
yes, please.
There was a particular issue when I was doing my service. There was one teacher. I was class 4. Yes, if I remember, class 4 student. And this guy was misbehaving in a class. And the teacher, the madam, told him to kneel down. This guy told the madam in front of her that he would never kneel down. And he was bold enough. So the madam had to cane him. So he caned him. This guy went out of the class with his bag, never to return. So we were there, and then the mother of the guy came with him. The guy literally, in fact, he went to the Zongo and then organized boys to come and just beat the madam, class 4. All because madam has caned him. So when he came, I told the guy to, in fact, apologize to the madam for what he has done. And this guy told me, say, me a woman ba we ase. Me mbu nkotodwe mpa obi a choda na me mame kra me mpa na chewo na madam. Nti me class 4. So I was surprised. So with this kind of behavior, how are you going to, punish such a child?
Yes. So you see, this is a classical example of a student that's why I see always we tell you that when you find yourself in any institution, look at the background of these students, the community they are coming from, their cultural background, their individual behaviors and makeups. If you have an appreciation of this same background, you know that he's coming from house, not home. It's home that they nurture you. He's coming from the house, which has not been well nurtured or cultured. And I wouldn't want to say that because there are some Zongo people who are also well cultured. So I would not say that because he went to bring some Zongo people, they are not well cultured or something like that. It's from the house he's coming from. He's not coming from home. Now, such a student of this nature, what you do, if the guy has able to say that, you have to have time with the boy. Let him understand what he did is wrong and why he has to. Because you see, he said that he has never in his life, whether home or whatever, apologize. He doesn't see the need why he should apologize. So such a person, you can cane him 100 times until you let that child appreciate why what he did is wrong and why there's a need to apologize. Such a person, you must use a private reprimand, not a public one. You see, at times, some of you may think that these are kids, so they should reason the way you reason. They should reason like the way every normal child reason. But don't forget that these kids are from their various homes, houses, with different characters and behaviors. Obi kura on any parent, you know, ohun de ne papa and mommy adam or patch order. Ohun de ne mommy and papa adam or patch order. They don't see that at home. Why should he do that in school? And I've told you that one of the principles of learning is that the proud knowledge of the child may hinder or enhance if he's from the home that he has never seen his mother who was wrong, apologizing to his father, who has never seen his sister or brethren, siblings apologizing for doing something wrong. He does not see the need for you telling him to apologize to a common teacher who is not his relative, who is not a family member. He will not see the sense until you have a private reprimand, sitting down. Let him understand what it means by to apologize, what it means of doing that, for him to come to terms that, oh, it is wrong. Because he's coming from a place, a community, a house, or a home who has been socialized with so many behaviors and characters. You cannot take that 1 hour or 30 minutes to change it to say, sit, apologize. And you think you apologize. So such students, don't go to the riot of sacking him. Don't go to the riot of that if you don't apologize again, I'm going to cane you. It will not change anything. Have a private time with him. And let him appreciate the need of these things. And trust you me. Also pray for that child. He will change. Are you with me?
Dog, yes, but I did some small investigation about the guy.
Okay.
And what I is his own dad smoke with him. They go to base and smoke together. Class 4. So literally, the guy and the both parents, they divorced. So the guy wants to stay with his dad, but the mommy doesn't want that to happen, all because the dad is teaching him how to do all this kind of
and you are telling
behavior.
ghetto boy who is a wee boy who has done all this to apologize to a teacher who doesn't buy him weed, who doesn't let him enjoy. When he get who knows that money crowd was share high not better classroom.
But I saw him to be a very a child, like around 8, 7, 9 years.
And those people, you may see them to be a child, but they can be your grandfather. In terms of their behavior, not in terms of yes, I'm talking about their behavior. So you see, that investigation you did could have given you another opportunity to devote time for such a child because he needs a serious attention. You need a serious attention. And it's good that that thing happened, that misbehavior happened. That would have, and through that, you're able to know these things. And that time, that is what God wanted you to do. God was expecting you to touch and mold the life of that child. That's why that thing happened. Anything as a teacher, you are also full. Whatever happened, don't see it to be a normality. It's something, it's an opportunity God has given to you to impact the life of the child. I mean, that's how I see things. So whether my university student, my Sunday school student, that's how I see everything that I handed them. So at the end of the day, some of them, they go round, then they come and appreciate it. At times they will not appreciate it now, but tomorrow they will appreciate it. There was one of my students, upper class and dressing yet. University student, level 200, I may come with some. Oh, I do baby crown, I'm the share presentation, so you know, I can't want some 300 with the gunesu. I do baby, and it looks as if I say, I'm frustrating. I'm a cheap break a car. Where's all your pass? I'm sure you can want some, so I said, it's not frustrating a rap. I'm a cheap break a car. In fact, 300 second semester. Micro teaching, he happens to be in my group. My first day of meeting them, Atare Akrani Seba and say, "Oi, Abobe na Obi." And fana Akreka da na Abobe na waka nimpa bi. This lady was able to wear a very decent office wear dress to class. Just this semester, the guy that he has accepted his proposal, you know what the guy said? Also, the way he dressed. I'll carry no one will campus. It's one of the things I attract more about, because a lot of university students don't dress well. You see, you. So meaning that the guy did not see the lady in 1100. He didn't see 200 the way he was dressing. 300 first semester, he didn't see the way he was dressing. Maybe it was God who was making me pushing so that he will meet that child, that guy. And then the Niaji. I catch and so betcha giant. I mean, I don't know who warrior. Betcha giant, children, so better punch him. I'm not married. My brand who. And I'm uncanny.
9.
Anyway, so you see, some of them, at times, you know, even see the immediate results. And later, it will surprise you the way things will turn. We also say that avoid punishment which humiliates people. Yes. At times, you wonder why a teacher could cane somebody to the extent that all the strikes will be at his back. Or to me, Ponimpa Bana will say, Abana could burn any say. And also, teacher, now we are Bayfuana. And it's because of some of these things that they've now said that we shouldn't cane. Some of you, the teachers, when you are caning students, it's as if someone be able to Uma enti inyat mama nipa. Yami we are mobile. Okay. Now let's look at classroom organization. We are looking at classroom organization. Classroom organization refers to the arrangement, every arrangement that goes on in the classroom. So we are referring to the furniture, the tables and desks that are arranged in a classroom, the various where the position of the board, if they are projectors, the position of it, the teacher's desks, the wardrobes, the cupboards, the maps, and all other things that the clocks, the lighting system. So all those things that are arranged in the classroom is what we refer to as what classroom organization. So we are saying that the classroom accommodates students' furniture and facilities, all of which needs to be properly arranged for effective learning process. Hence, classroom organization refers to the arrangement that goes on in the classroom. Or open learning will also tell you that classroom organization includes the furniture arrangements, location of materials, displays, and fixed elements in all the classroom forms part of what classroom organization. So if you look at this is a typical picture of a Montessori classroom, and you can look at this one too. So these are examples of what we talk about arrangement. So how the desks have been arranged, where the location of the cupboards, their drawers, the windows for ventilation. So all these arrangements is what we refer to as classroom organization. Now, let's look at classroom environment. But before that, any question on the classroom organization? Any question? Okay. Now, classroom environment. All these things we are discussing all borders on the classroom environment. So in the classroom environment, we have what we call the physical environment and the psychological environment. When we talk of the physical environment, we are talking about the various buildings, other facilities, the people themselves who are in the classroom. So we are talking about the classroom and how neat and clean the classrooms are, the arrangement of the desks, even the learners themselves, their dressing and their sitting arrangement. That's why the arrangement of the desks must suit the lesson being taught. Also, the learners of various handicaps must be considered. Learners must be neat and tidy. Classes must get free flow of fresh air and well ventilated. This reminds me of I went to a certain school at Pokwasi for teaching practice. Charlie, the school, they don't have windows. They use barristers as windows. And you know, these barristers do not encourage fresh air, much air to penetrate. And the house was crowded. This was morning, so the two doors that is in between the first row and the board, one has been closed, and that's where the teacher's table and chair is. So the only one they have is the last door that you have to move in to enter the class or the board. And when I enter the class, I have to go and, teaching part, I have to sit at the back so that I don't serve as a distraction to the student, because when you are sitting in front, all of them want to be looking at you because you're a stranger. So we normally sit at the back. Charlie, early morning class, I'm meeting a back on. Do baby nyame ko tinka minya coat. And there were no proper air coming in and those things. And I don't know why you build a school without windows, but rather you use barristers. I believe you know barristers. More break shop, them flower barrister and those things, porches, those kind of things. These things does not create a good classroom environment. Then we are talking about how to control the room temperature. It shouldn't be too hot. Then the lighting system, there must be good lighting systems in the classroom. Then the classroom should have informative bulletin boards. These are all things that ensures good physical environment. Then we have the psychological environment. So the psychological environment is the enabling environment the teacher creates for learning, teaching and learning to take place. So for example, the ability of the teacher to encourage freedom of expression without frustration or intimidation or making the student feel bad, or allowing students to make independent choice or to be able to take a position in a discourse, as we discussed yesterday. Encouraging individual participation, choosing learner-centered learning techniques which will ensure active participation of learners, and motivating learners by reinforcing learners' responses and performance. So these are all ways that the psychological environment can be well created in a classroom. Now let's look at classroom environment techniques. Some of the classroom environment techniques that can be used, we have what we call stimulus control. Now, when we say stimulus control, this refers to the arrangement of the learning environment so that the group behaves the way you want them to behave. So the stimulus control are certain measures or things you put in place to govern or to guide learners to achieve a certain intended behavior you want them to exhibit. It's just like it's from the behavioral school of thought, the stimulus and the stimulus response, SR. So the kind of stimulus you provide will determine the response you are going to get. Now, one of the techniques under stimulus control is what we call prompting. Prompting. And prompting are the instructions or some cues you give to learners in order to guide or help them know the behaviors they are supposed to behave. That's why I say that these means providing extra cues or instructions so that your students know what behavior they are asked for. And take note, the purpose of stimulus control is to get your students to be able to control themselves and make rational decisions. That's why the kind of strategy you put in place will ensure whether they are going to achieve that intended behavior or otherwise. So the essence of stimulus control is to enable your students to control themselves in the classroom and make rational decisions. Then we have modeling, and we all know that in modeling, it is about being like somebody, the same as somebody, or imitating, or acting, or being the same as someone else. But take note that if you want to apply this strategy, you must ensure that the person you are presenting to be modeled should be someone that have a good character, which can be a reflective behavior on your learners. Because every modeling produces effects, and the effects can be positive or negative. So you don't just present anybody for your learners to emulate. Check the background of the model, check the background of the people, the behaviors, the things behind the scenes before you present them for them to model. So if you are saying that you want a certain teacher, a certain student, or a certain person to be a model to your learners, check the person's background, do a thorough search about the person before you present that person for your learners to emulate. Other than that, you may end up making sure that other side of the person you don't know may be a hindrance or discouraging. Now, as I said, the characteristics of appropriate models include the model should be someone important to your student. The model should have some type of reinforcers for your student. For instance, the model similarity to the subject. When your student modeled an example of behavior, praise him or her for that behavior. Very, very important. The next one is the rules. Classroom technique that you can use is setting rules. And we all know that rules are measures you put in place to stop unwanted behavior in the classroom. And please, teachers, when you are coming out with rules, make sure that your rules are reasonable, your rules are enforceable, and your rules reflective, observable actions or behavior you want to see in the learners. That's why we are saying that the rules should be stated in a behavioral terms with objective criteria. It should be reasonable. That's the student could do what is asked if given the opportunity. Enforceable, that is, the teacher has control over the consequence and observation of the act. And when students follow the rule, they are reinforced positive. So at times, you hear teachers saying that you continue talking. If I catch you again, I will slap you. Are you sure you can slap your student? So any rule that you think you cannot enforce and it doesn't make sense, it is not a good rule. Hey, if you don't stop talking, I will just hold you and throw you out of the class. Can you do that? So make sure that your rules that you state, you share with your learners, they are reasonable. That if the time comes that the students should go by it, can he do it? Can you enforce it? And live by the consequence of it? So your rules must be reasonable, enforceable, and something that reflects the behaviors you want students to exhibit. Now, classroom communication. We all know that communication is transmission of information from one person to another, and the response given to such information, which is feedback. Now, classroom communication is the transmission of instructional information, knowledge and good values, attitude, ideas from teachers to learners, as well as what? Feedback through what? Evaluation. Very important. Types of classroom communication. We have written, that's communicated through writing. Verbal, like oral, like I'm doing, singing, drumming, whistling, among others. Then we have non-verbal, the signs, the symbols, the gestures, colors, drawing are all examples of non-verbal communication. And we use these things in our classrooms a lot. Then electronic communication, which we use through the radio, telephones, films, computer projections, Wikitalker, and all these various, the Zoom, the Google Meet, the Microsoft Teams, are all electronic communication medium that we use to communicate to learners. During the COVID time, so they were doing the radio classes. During the COVID time, we're doing radio classes. Is that also? Or none of you was part? Hello? Hello?
Doc, please, you are saying something.
I'm saying that this, like I said, during the COVID time, there were radio classes that was
Yes,
done
sir.
for learners.
Yes, so
Yes, please.
I think we have Joy Time.
Yeah, Joy Learning 2 was there. Yeah, Joy Learning 2 was there. Joy Learning. Okay. Now let's look at techniques in communication, classroom communication. We have what we call control talk, content talk, and procedural talk. Now, when we say content talk, you see, content talk focuses on what is being learned. So the information I'm providing, the knowledge I'm providing to you of classroom communication, talking about this is what we mean by content talk. So we are saying that it happens when a teacher or student states or asks about an idea or a concept, or when someone explains or elaborates on some bit of new knowledge. So whatever I'm doing, the contributions you are also making, the experiences you are also sharing, the experience you shared with us in relation to what we spoke today, what we are learning today, is an example of content talk. In fact, some of the things could even digress. Maybe you ask a question and what the person says is not even in line with what you are saying, or deviate or go off. It's also an example of what? Content talk. That's why content talk can also digress from current learning objectives. So no matter the fact that, oh, what he's saying is not in line, it's also an example of content talk. Then control talk is about preventing or correcting misbehaviors when they occur, particularly when these misbehaviors are not because of ignorance of procedures. So control talk are basically the rules or the measures you put in place to ensure that students behave well in a classroom. That is why it is important that as a teacher, the first time in your class, you must spell out your rules of engagement. Let your learners be guided about it, and so that they will focus as well. So we are saying control talk is obviously important for managing class effectively. Then we have procedural. So the word is procedures. So these are the rules or routines that are given to learners to guide them in fulfilling their tasks or accomplishing their tasks. That's why I say it is the administrative rules or routines needed to accomplish tasks in the classroom. So procedural talks provide information that students need to coordinate their activities and under conditions in which time may be relatively short or tightly scheduled. It is intended to provide guidance. Take note, procedural talk. It is intended to provide what guidance that students need to coordinate with others and with other teachers in their classroom. So these are all examples of classroom talks that we can have. Then the component of communication, we have the source, which is the sender, the transmitter, the messenger, the message itself, the channel. These things are just for your information. They are not really. Then component of classroom communication, we have the receiver. That's the decoder, the brain of the destination. Then we have the destination, which is the communicatee. So the one who is receiving, the person or the person whom the message is being directed. Then there's also always the feedback. There's also the feedback. Now, why the need for us to look at classroom communication? We are saying that a good classroom communication brings about efficiency in communication. Because without good communication, classroom activity will come to halt. Be it instructions, supervision, evaluation, and others. So a good classroom communication brings about efficiency. That's why when you are communicating ambiguous terms, you get ambiguous answers. It also instills confidence. So due to good communicative method by the teacher, both the teacher and pupils are confident that the classroom goals will be definitely achieved. Good classroom communication also reduces confusion of tasks and rumors. Yes, because when you are clear with what they are supposed to do, you speak in your clear language, precise, concise, devoid of dangling and ambiguity. It will obviously give a clear indication for the student what they are supposed to do. That's why I said good communication reduces confusion and disorder. Rather, it enhances discipline and even strengthens interest. It also nurtures students as well, because classroom communication nurtures each learner and develops his or her personalities to a maximum level, especially how they are also supposed to talk. presentations, their oratory, their presentation writing, among others. So that through good classroom communication, many children can perform maximally. It also brings satisfaction. Satisfaction is an incentive which induces good performance, and through that, one's desired goal is easily achieved without what? Struggle. Without struggle. And the other one is that it brings about informatory system. Through communication, the question of whose, what's, and where's, and when of classroom activities are made clear to students. So everyone is made knowledgeable for whatever activity that is involved. So these are signs that encourages that communication is very important. So please, as teachers, when we are communicating to our students, we should be very careful and mindful with the things that we communicate. Constraint to effective classroom communication. Yes, we know a lack of funds to produce good media and transmitting material. Most of us don't have teaching aids in our schools. The projectors and those things that can be used for these basic communications. At times, there could also be poor communication mechanisms, especially when you are talking too loud, being too loud, aggressive, or too low that they cannot hear, and also stammering, stuttering, lack of clarity of words. These are all poor communication mechanisms in the classroom. Then poor encoding, using language not quite understandable to your learners, big words, jargons that is beyond your student, like circumlocution, proverbs, faulty signs, symbols, which at times students at their level are not able to comprehend. Then we have faulty communication, that is teaching wrong thing and time, or teaching the right thing in a wrong way by using wrong method. That's faulty communication. When you deviate from what you are teaching, it's a faulty communication. The next thing we want to touch on is classroom discipline. So classroom discipline refers to controlled behavior, things you put in place in order to control certain behaviors of the learners. So it is the ability to get attention when you need it. And there is quite often a purposeful talking in a well-disciplined classroom. Now, that's why I said dealing with disruptive behavior is one of the most stressful aspects of teaching. Yeah, especially when you are dealing with disruptive students. That is why we are saying that the disciplinary tone you set in your classroom over the first couple of weeks will determine how your room operates or fails to operate for the rest of the year. And take note, the best disciplinary control measure is to prevent disciplinary problems in the first place. That is why when you meet your student in the first place, share with them your rules of engagement, your do's and don'ts, your likes and dislikes. Let them know so that they don't go contrary. So that when they go contrary, they also know what may going to happen to them. But when you don't share and they go contrary, you cannot take them on. Yes. Now let's look at classroom management models. In the 1970s, there was research that was sanctioned to determine what are some measures or management models that can be put in place to check student behaviors in a classroom or to create a good classroom environment. So this research began, and at the end of the day, two of the research models that stood out is the assertive discipline model and that of the discipline with dignity model. Assertive discipline model and the discipline with dignity model. Now let's look at what goes on in each of them. In terms of the assertive discipline model, this discipline was first propounded by Malin Carter. Then in 2004, Tom McCarthy sums up that of the Carter's assertive discipline model. And this is what the model says. This is a discipline model where the responsibility of taking the decision, the disciplinary measures, and the sanction that go thereof is the sole prerogative of the teacher to determine that. That's why I say here, it is the teacher who takes all the decisions about what is expected in the classroom. So it is a sole prerogative of the teacher to decide the disciplinary measures, the sanctions, and he is also responsible for enforcing those rules to keep students from not disrupting the classroom. So it appears there is the teacher who has the sole responsibility of deciding the disciplinary issues in the classroom. He is the one who is to enforce it. When you go against it, he's the one who determines the kind of sanctions or punishment that will be meted out to you. And that's why we are saying that this method of discipline works for many teachers because it is easy to implement and enforce. But they have been criticized. People have criticized that it is not only the teacher who is in the classroom. He is not the only stakeholder. It's teaching and learning. It's between the learner and the teacher. So why don't you involve the learner? So they have criticized that this method is too teacher-centered. It does not take into account students and their individual needs in taking those disciplinary measures. They have also complained that it is reactive technique rather than being proactive. Reactive in the sense that it is only when the misbehavior has occurred that's the teacher, where the teacher will use his discretion to determine what will happen to you. Unlike the discipline with dignity model, with the discipline with dignity model, what happens is that the teacher together with the student will sit together and discuss. Okay, if you come late, what should happen? Class, let's all discuss. Some will say, oh, madam, when you are late, let's can you trade. Oh, madam, when you are late, let's forgive you. Oh, when you are late, let's let the person sweep. So we all come to consensus, may agree to disagree, and come to a consensus. Okay, now we have all disagreed. Now we come to a consensus that if you come late, you get 3 lashes. So this is more proactive, so that the learners know what may even going to happen to you when you fall foul. That's why we are saying that the assertive discipline is reactive in nature. It is only when the issue thing has occurred before you determine. But the discipline with dignity model, because we all discuss, we know what you know what may happen to you, and that can even serve as a deterrent for you not to do that misbehavior. So we are saying that it does not allow the instructor to work in collaboration with students to prevent student misbehavior, because it's the teacher who takes all the decisions. Instead, predetermined consequences are given with little flexibility in determining the severity of these consequences. So these are some of the criticisms by the assertive discipline model. Now, like I said, with the discipline with dignity model, what happened is that the teacher together with the student, they determine the disciplinary measures in the classroom. They bring students are given opportunity to bring their voice. In fact, at times, even the teacher gives the learner the opportunity to decide, so that we all agree that these are the main rules of the class. Anyone who go close, you know what is going to happen to you. And this model was created by Richard Cowan and Alan Medley. And we are saying that it is much more proactive in nature and deals with prevention of misbehavior rather than attempting to determine the cause behind it, as it happens in that of the assertive discipline. And it is more student-centered and focuses on larger issues, because a lot of student perspective will be sought. People will share their views, a lot of perspective. Oh, let him sweep, let's forgive, let's give him 1 lash, 2 lashes. Then after we all agree to disagree to come to a consensus. So at its core, this method allows instructors the flexibility to make choices when it comes to the consequences for the student, or even let the student make those choices. But in that setting, this opportunity is not given to students. So it supports the use of humor, student accountability for problems. Yes, because they acknowledge that the students are also part of it. They are stakeholders. They are human beings. And for that matter, you must also seek their what? Consent, which is very important. Now, people have also criticized this mode. They are saying that when you do that, you might be too permissive, and that it leans too far towards a student-controlled management. As everybody say, I want my family take control, so I'm going to handle classroom management. So you are the teacher. You have to take charge. That's the argument. And this requires more planning and consideration on the part of the instructor than the assertive mode. Yes. The assertive is a teacher who determines everything by himself without any student involvement. But with this one, the student must also speak out. They will share. Some will see, and you know, students, they will say, forgive, say, do this, that. A lot of concerns will come on board. Well, at times you may agree to disagree and all those kind of things. So it's time consuming, takes time. And at times it can sometimes be seen as shifting the blame from students to the other institutions rather than the student taking responsibility for themselves. The truth of the matter is that if I know that when I misbehave, I'm going to get 5 lashes and I don't want to die alone, I would want to shift the blame from one point to another. So there are instances where when someone talks, you are come to say, it's not me, it was John who pushed me. When he got to, hey, John, why did you? No, it's not me, it was this person. By the time you realize everybody in the classroom will be affected, that they are the cause of the problem because they don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to suffer because they know the consequence. That's why at times it may lead to shifting the blame of student misbehavior to other students and other things. But we are saying that as a teacher, you must have your own way or method of your classroom management. And you need to define what method will best work for your classroom, taking into consideration the caliber of students you are handling, and decide which classroom disciplinary measure will best work for you. Any question on that or contribution?
No question, no.
Okay. Now, why are we talking about classroom management, bothering you today with a lot of things about classroom management? You see, the whole goal of classroom management, one is to create the best learning environment possible for teaching and learning to take place. Also is to develop student responsibility and self-regulation. That is why we are crying about classroom management. But take note, as a teacher, I see you don't need to stick to one classroom management strategy. Day in and day out, you must review your classroom management strategy periodically to ensure that they are still effective. If you are the type that you are one way of doing things, students are able to predict you. If student knows that all what you can think of, how can you, last so you see, but when students are not able to predict your ways, your strategy, they will always be careful. You should also pay attention to how you state your rules. Because, you see, don't let your tonation be all about negativity. I remember there was this teacher in Suezbu. He entered the class and he was like, have you ever heard of, I will not, let me mention different names so that some of you may not know. Have you heard of Mr. Duncan before? In this school, no one has told you about me. As for me in my class, you dare not. If you like, ask your seniors. When you fall into my trap, the way I'll deal with you, you would never forget in your life. Hey, are you frightening the student? Are you intimidating the student? That is not a good tone you must set in your class. Let them spell out the rules and let them know why they must abide by the rules. But don't come and create that caricature, that behavior as if that you are Van Damme of the school. So Godwin once said, good teaching is 1/4 preparation and 3/4 theater. Yes. the greater part of all the activities, what happens in the classroom, including classroom management. And these are very, very important areas that teachers must bear in mind. That's why you need to plan thoroughly and make sure that your classrooms are very well handled. Now, teachers and instructors' responsibility. We are saying that teachers, you have two essential professional prerogatives in the classroom. Teachers, you have two essential professional prerogatives. One is to set academic standards for your students and to grade them or evaluate them according to those standards. So the question is, what kind of academic standard are you setting for your students? When you go to school, you are being lazy. At times you don't want to teach. When you then they should copy notes. What kind of standard are you setting for them? You don't prepare thoroughly for your student. You only go to school early in the morning to write something, copying from. Unfortunately, today that even the learner plans are online. You go and download without doing any further research. Please set a good academic standard for your student. That's one of your professional prerogative responsibility. You must also set, the next one is to set behavioral standard for your class. What kind of behavioral standard are you setting? That's why as a teacher, you must be mindful the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself in school, so that we all learned hidden curriculum, so that you set a certain behavioral standard people can emulate and be proud of it. Now let's look at things that you can do to foster a positive learning environment. What are some of the things you can do to establish a positive learning environment? Sorry. The first one is to respect for diverse student background, not only their culture, but also socioeconomic and professional background as well. Please, teachers, no matter who that student is, respect them. Respect your student background. Some of you, the teachers, tend to respect some of the students whose parents are well-to-do. Some of you tend to handle students with care, whose parents are lawyers, they are doctors, they are big time business tycoon, they are having money. Because when it is our day, you will be giving Uncle Sam, you will be giving champagne, you will be giving Uncle Oil and envelopes. So you tend to treat some of these students, especially from other students who do not have that opportunity. Please do not discriminate. Respect the student, irrespective of the background they are coming from. Because obinim obrempong ashasi. That's why I said not only their culture, but socioeconomic and professional. Kofi Kenyatta obo ni I say one never so I then. I've forgotten what he said. Kofi Kenyatta boy, I say
Taco salad.
Never wash a white.
Yes. Charcoal seller never so I then. Wash a white.
Wash a white.
Yes. So a baby na charcoal seller never na won't find any shrimp. Then there or no. So please, let's respect the student. You must also teach using variety of methods so that students with different learning needs will have their needs addressed. So in an effort to reach the maximum number of students as possible, that we have talked about variety long, provide consistent and fair treatment of all students when applying classroom policies. Yes, do not discriminate. Be fair. Whether it's your girlfriend, your boyfriend, apply the rules accordingly and let them, after you can go and apologize to your girlfriend or boyfriend. Now, why penny more to say, Nessa, and Kolanka think it's in our form, so I also a ring gun. I'm a baby self. Then maintain confidentiality and privacy in student records and issues. Please, this is very important. Some of you have turned into gossips. Students confide in you with their personal issues and their sensitive issues. Then you also become people spreading it. When someone spread any issue about you, the way you are not going to be happy is the same way you should understand that the student will also not be happy. A teacher has taken advantage of a student, and the student confided in you. Then you go to the staff room and go and complain. Hey, now sana, what's them say? Sana say you or titi abufeo. Now before another student did or better now, I summoned them from home. You are not a good teacher. You are not a good role model. Stop doing that if you are doing that. Abofana Bakacho say, on your garden or tea, the mammy, scaby any ho, or the baby on the dimple no waba, or the baby pa a school on tamba because scaby any fear, a comments and old baby are known to me. I'll confide in you. Then you take advantage of that to use him as your labor. Who buana kakra, from the bag and go to one man, oh, by woman I mean conswe, but woman I mean the banet, and you are taking advantage of the situation and using him as your mate. Please, God will not bless you in this. If you want the blessings of God, as he has confided in you, who knows? There were a lot of teachers. God directed him to you. Help him wholeheartedly without you thinking of gaining something from him or her. And when you also end up want to take him to come and be helping you fetching water and all those things, oh, you have already received your blessings. Because the blessings are one man. Model appropriate classroom behavior for your students. As a teacher, be enthusiastic about your subject, about your class, and about the school or the college you find yourself. Students, they are your, whether you like it or not, they are the people you are handling. Whether they are good or bad, be proud of them. Be proud of them. Do your best. Shape them. Mold them. Break them where they need to be broken from any shackles. And model them to the kind of people that you want your children to be. And let them become. And God will also make yours his want. Who you be now so the who teach you obedient. Who be obi titi o there. Don't think so them ko baby that. What's interest? Maybe chen una never then ebebu. It's a bobutu. Now prima bobu apim. So whatever good you do, it will be before you. Now, how do you deal with disruptive students? Is it Crispin or Marfo? What students are kind of? You see, there are some students, no matter the rules you put in place, they are still stubborn. Who cast on the cross? Sorry. Oh, we didn't cut now cross you, Mejani. We call this student disruptive student. So then, how do you deal with such student? Now, one of the things you can do is to use what we call proximity control if possible. Proximity control means that some of these students, they normally hide behind the student at the back and misbehave. So what you can do is that when you are teaching in proximity control, if possible, is for you to teach on your feet, not on your seat. Stand in front of the class and teach, and not sitting down teaching. Some of you are too lazy. And you see male teachers also sitting down teaching. Youngsters, young teachers, males and females, Gen Zs are sitting down teaching. It is not the best. Such people will always hide them. So teach on your feet. Another thing you can do, and I think is it Mafu or Crispin, you can look at this. You can also engage such students with what we call learning contracts, to hold the students accountable for coursework or their behavior. Learning contract is a strategy that you use that before the lesson starts, that student, you task him that by the time we end this, you are going to do this task, what we call learning contract. That alone will let that student be attentive and focused. Because when you say, oh, yeah, he's going to do this. So you can use learning contracts to engage that student to be very attentive in class. You can also move the class to another activity to refocus attention on the material and not the disruption. If you know behavior and people are talking about it, quickly switch them from that activity to another to avoid them wasting time on that disruption. You must also pair or group students in threes or small groups activity, because when there are many, they tend to misbehave and they do not participate. And when you are grouping them, blend them. Don't make sure that the good ones go to one, they will hijack. Blend them with the average, the good, and the fast, so that mixability, so that they can have uniform discussion. Then also you must use then you must also use light-hearted humor. Light-hearted humor, if appropriate, to get class back on track. When we say light-hearted humor, you see, you must first understand that the children are also human beings like you. They have feelings, they have emotions, they can be triggered. The same way when you can also be triggered. So you must see them as human beings like you and treat them with that sense of humor. And be light-hearted when you are handling them. Don't be shouting on them. Don't be making certain mockery, ridiculous statements upon them. But always be warm, be receptive, be accommodating, be understanding. And trust you me, the students will love you so much. The last thing we want to talk about is things to avoid when dealing with disruptive students. Things you must avoid when dealing with disruptive students. One of the things you must avoid when dealing, okay, Stephen, let me hear you.
Doc, please, with this student issue that you are talking about, some of them, the behavior that or the challenges that we are encountering, they are not from the students. Like it's we the teachers. Because in my school, for instance, when I went there, they had posted some of the those from the College of Education, and because
Okay.
it is a bit of a village, they use so many means by some of them sleeping with most of the students. It's a junior high, sleeping with the students. Sometimes when you hear the issues that we are going for sports and they didn't have money, and you see a teacher will say, I'll pay, then the teacher will sleep with the students. And now we are really paying or facing the effect, because we realize now the students, they don't respect and they behave anyhow. You see, so some of these issues that we are talking about, it is the teachers. We are the major contributing factors of all these things. The male teachers. Thank you.
Yeah, but you see, you also see that some of these male teachers are also respected in the same school because of the way they carry themselves. So let those who have opened their zip, like those people who attend St. Glasses and Bottles Church, continue. They will meet their meter, and those people, God will judge them seriously. They will not escape judgment. But you see that in the same school, there will be another teacher that the student will always respect because of the way you carry yourself, the way you talk to them, the way you handle them. Who confirm teacher be say, oh, we open by teacher, we teacher don't correct. Okay, come by student boom sir. You are writing your biography from the student. Ube that Ube will say you are spreading tribute in the community. So please, our teachers, let's advise ourselves, because God will judge you. Whatever you do, don't take for granted that these are kids. What God hates, you taking advantage of children, which is the heartbeat of God. The children are the heartbeat of God. Handle them with care. You are not just teaching them. God has entrusted in these people to your care. Now open total what you say. The dear onima aya kakraka say. Now crack it na de kitikiti na wudi kwashim. One ben no. Akono ben e won ho. Since one ben abeshe wu. Se sa ho no man sa na nyame aba. Anyway, so some of the things you must avoid whenever you are handling some of these students is to ignore the problem and hope it will go away. Please. Some of you, when students are misbehaving, just like our parents have been doing it. Oh, well, sir, I have a fraba, only nyansa, only no bejai. It's jano. Now, oh, a ponchenia when you never done a poncheda. Have you seen a toad that has grown to become a big frog or a sheep? Or cut away one of my. That kind of thing. Opinion, no, I'm very used to it. And it will be difficult to control such a person. So, so whenever you see that misbehavior, please deal with it there and there. Don't say that, oh, you wait, I'll come to you, no, no, don't do that. As it okay now, deal with it to serve as a deterrent. But when you ignore thinking that obey no a problem at all. You want apeba munye bia mu pesa mu yen said that there be mu pesa mu jije so no. Why nye ni ya etina wo besu because of your child. Or yeah, then you're disciplining by yourself, so that tomorrow you don't weep over the child. Do it for the class. Avoid punishing the entire class for the infraction of a single student or small group. Oh yes, sir. Next time, let's all talk and let's all face the consequence. And some of the people, the annoying part is that then they will be teasing those who did not talk as well. But when you're able to fish out those who are misbehaving and deal with them, it will serve as a deterrent, and those people who are quiet will continue to be quiet. Please, as a teacher, you must also avoid acting inconsistently. Despite, as I said, despite what we think, students do talk to one another. So when you are not consistent, today you are doing this and tomorrow you are doing, and to the extent there are even some teachers who try to propose to friends, come friends, hey, these things are dangerous. We have said that before, but if you are inconsistent, or the way you want to favor, or the way you don't want to favor, master, when you do that, you are not creating a good environment. When you face accident, they will take you head on. Also, avoid over-explaining or debating your decision, especially when you are handling with such students. You don't need to over-exchange words, over-explain yourself towards such students. See, such students, you don't worry yourself doing these things. When you do that, then you are gingering them. Then you are giving them fuel to speed up and to also contend with you. Also, avoid having vague rules or consequences. Be open and honest about your policies. Let your policies be clear, devoid of any ambiguity, so that everybody will know what you are instructing them, what they are going to suffer when these things happen. These are very critical. because students are smart. When they are not too clear, when your things are not too clear, they can misbehave and just say that they didn't know, they didn't do that, and they should not do that. So these are things that you must bear in mind so far as classroom management issues are concerned. Any question or contribution? Any question or contribution? Okay, so that brings us to the end of the course, methods of teaching geography. So thank you very much for your time and for your contributions as well. I really appreciate the time we spent together, and I pray that we'll meet one day at the master's level. So thank you very much. And I also want to thank you for the cooperation as well. Okay.
And we want to see your faces.
Yeah, I've even forgotten. But today is our last meeting. Unfortunately, I'm still at church. So I have to hide somewhere at church to do this online. So let's come to video so that I will see leadership by example. So this is the small boy danger face. This me. I'm at our new building where we are doing the Sunday school. So this is the small boy sample. Okay, so I've seen him. Amwa. Or this which him Asante.
Hey, Amwa, let's see your face. Amwa, let's see your face.
Okay, I've seen. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, I've seen
Well,
Steven.
what did you say? Madam Mary, let's see your face. Madam Mary, let's see your face.
Augustine Marfu, we have not seen your face and you are calling people.
Madam Mary, let's see your face. Madam
Okay.
Mary,
Okay. Madam Mary. Hey, Madam Mary, why not waiting?
That is why the students.
I feel the matter. Say, hey, love letter up, and I feel the matter. Say,
Ingo. Where's Augustine Marfu?
I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here. But Augustine, your video is not on.
Yes.
Come on, so that we see you.
No, I'm not wearing anything. No.
Hey, you are not wearing anything.
He's in the mood. Hey.
So
Augustine is in the mood.
Anyway.
I have to find some topic.
Okay.
Wait. You see my face right now.
Okay, you are in the mood. Hey.
Oh, no, not that. Oh.
Okay, so I think God willing, and in April I'll be in Shinyane. So
The doctor himself.
After Easter I'll be in Shinyane. Yes.
Dr. Bento himself.
Okay.
Dr. Bento, the professor himself.
We would like to meet you.
Yeah, so I'll be in Shinyane, Penkwase twice after
God,
the
I'm
Easter.
Here.
Okay, we'll meet there.
Yeah, so I'll come and we'll link up. But I think now, is there anyone in Hebrew or Ikopo Enclave? Because I'll be in Ikopo on Tuesday. Presby University.
Dog, if you come to
Okay,
the
yeah,
meeting,
okay. Augustine, I've seen you.
if you come to Asimodan, dog. If you come to Asimodan or Kufuria.
Okay, Kofodia. Okay. I'll plan and pass by.
Yeah. If also those who want to come to Kwahu, they are also for you. Kwahu, we are here.
Kofodia, I'll be coming there in April. I'll have a graduation. Some of my master students are graduating at Presby University at Abetifi.
Okay, we are around. Yes, sir, we are around.
So I'll be coming there. Yeah, so I'll get a date and let you know.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's quickly talk about the quiz. I think yesterday I gave you that of the teaching geography. That also.
Yeah, yes, dog.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so okay. So for the first quiz, you have a 20 objectives. There are no true or false. It's 20 objectives. Are you with me?
Yes, dog.
And it's on unit 1 and unit 2. Unit 1 and unit 2. So the review questions, I think about all the questions are review questions from the review books. So try and solve them.
Okay, dog. But in fact, for this block, we are all getting A's.
Yes. So I'll make sure you will do well. So what you do is that, like you said, okay, when it's getting to find time so that we discuss the examination.
Yes, sir. I'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. So
it's really done well.
So,
like the way you lecture us, the way you speak to us, in fact, we really appreciate it.
So yeah.
Say,
yes.
Are you a teacher or you are a lecturer?
I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher.
He's a teacher. He's a teacher.
I'm a teacher. I'm not a lecturer.
Hey, madam, you show
if I were to be a lecturer, I would have come here.
He's a teacher. He's not a lecturer. He's not just a lecturer. He's a teacher. He's very good.
Show your face.
Show your face.
Yes.
Show your face. You are ready.
Please, I want to see your face.
Oh, I hope not today.
Judith.
Crispin, show
because Judith, you have the exam questions. The methods. There are some of the questions. I have your name in there. I have Judith's name in there.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it from where?
Judith.
Like with this one, this method, look, it seems the first, let's say first semester, with the exams questions too, one had my name in it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the method of teaching geography. You have your name there. Okay. So if you don't make me see your face, I'm going to remove your name from that question.
Hey, you say so.
Let's see your face.
So let me see your face.
Let's do that.
Then I think Emmanuel Amwa too. I think I have some of you using your name as part of the objective questions. So make sure that you get it. If you don't get it, I'll have a problem with you. At least that particular question.
Yes.
please, let's
Oh,
see
you
your
declare
face.
your face. So Doc is, Prof, please.
Oh,
Doc is on the line. Oh, Doc.
I'm shy.
Okay.
I'm shy.
Hey. That's it.
Kwame Mafo.
Sorry,
Yeah,
that's it. Aye.
yeah, it is because of Kwame Mafo.
Oh,
Me,
no.
I said the mouth.
Not because of
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Hey,
It's because of Kwame Mafo.
not me.
Oh no.
Okay. So thank you very much.
It's not me. I don't know anything about. Oh, do this. So like,
And please,
I don't want us to see your face. Speculate.
I told you, I will urge you that when you finish the program,
Explore.
don't go and do other programs elsewhere. If you want to be in academia like we discussed the last time, please make sure that you continue from here and progress. Yesterday, I was talking to a student of mine who is at Asante Achimagogo College of Education. You know that now the switch coordinator, Dr. Lydia, he's now the principal there. Lydia Denchi, he's now the principal there on secondment. And now, when you look at the senior high school geography, I think the last I discussed the subject combination programs with you.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So now we are getting a stage where even science students would want to come in. It's not only restricted to business. Now business students, so that continue with this progression. And with this geography you have done, you have a lot of areas you can go to. You can even do MPhil geography and resource development in Legon. You can also do MPhil geography and rural development at Kane West. You can also do MPhil geography and regional planning in UCC. You can also do MPhil geography. Then we also have MPhil geography education, but that one has not been accredited yet by JTEC. So we pray that if that one is accredited, these days they have to go through the accreditation before you can run it. So when that one is accredited, we will let you know. We have MEd geography education, MPhil geography education, but it's now with it has to go through accreditation. And this was a program I have developed myself. So when it is ready, we'll let you know. Because now, when I spoke to the gentleman, I said, as he went there, now he's taking his net. When they deduct, he's taking a net of about 11,000 a month. That's the net too. That's not the gross. It's the net. He's taking about 11,000 something cedis a month, which is different from the research allowance of almost $1,000 something. That one is for academic year, which is also, even that one, he is with MPhil. He's an assistant lecturer with MPhil. So you can imagine. Then apart from that, when you get opportunity, a counselor or whatever, academic counselor, HOD or unit head, you get additional allowance. Then that way you write books, you get money and all those things. For that place, marking, they will pay you. Invigilation, they will pay you. Everything you do, they pay you. So if you are still interested in academia, I want to urge all of you to, right after here, mobilize and forge ahead to get at least the college. Now they are all university status. So that I'll be proud that at the end of the day, I'll be happy to work with some of you in the university as well. So let's all collaborate. And those of us that we have some information to put together for our books or publication, Peter Odro, and I think, is it Steven? After the exams, I know now you are hot. So after exams that you are less busy, let's get in touch and see if we can put some papers together.
Okay.
To share with the world.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you too. Bye.
I love you all.
We love
Have
you
a blessed day.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Sir, please, since someone is asking for the differences between Mfield and something. If you can check the comments.
Oh, is that so? Okay, let me see.
Judith, show your face.
I say MPhil Geography Education, MA Geography Education. We are waiting for that, dog. Yes.
Okay.
See, the difference between the MPhil Geography and MPhil Geography Education is that the MPhil Geography is purely content. Purely content. You don't have any education component in it. That means that when you do that one and you are picked in the university, you cannot be teaching any education-related courses. But with the MPhil Geography Education, there are other geography education components. For example, there's a course like, for example, that one we are like research method in geography education. You know, geography, we have, in geography education, we have our own way of doing research in geography, especially geography education. We have philosophy and philosophy of geography education, which is different from purely geography. But in geography education, we also do additional pure content courses, like the MPhil Geography also people do. So it positions you to be a bit versatile than people who are doing purely content geography. It's just like you are doing BA Geography and someone is doing BA Geography. The BA Geography and BA Geography, you are doing educational courses in addition with the content that the BA people are doing. So our students do the same courses with the BA people. Just that they do additional education courses that they don't do. And that puts you, have you edge about those people. So they end up, when they also come to classroom, because in Ghana, the only better place you can quickly get job is education field. So most of them end up come to do, and they become people teacher, they have to go and do PGD, which they pay huge sums of money for the PGD. And since you have BA Geography background, when you do the MPhil Geography and Geography, MPhil Geography and rural planning or development or resource development, you also in a better place because you already have BA Geography background. So you have education background as well. Okay. So thank you very much. I want to go and pick my wife and child to go home. They are waiting for me at the church.
So Judith, you don't want us to see your face, Judith.
Okay.
Are you special?
Where are you located?
Judith, I'm in Kumasi.
Dog, I'm at Kumasi.
Which part of Kumasi?
Kumasi. They don't want me. Okay, fine.
Asendia.
Asendia.
No.
Oh, wow.
Asendia.
Oh, that is good. Oh, please.
Our ladies are beautiful.
Oh, please, let's see your face now.
Our ladies are beautiful and wonderfully made. So our gents, please.
Judith, let's see your face.
If they are not connected, let's link up. If they are not connected, please, our guys.
It seems I know you. Where is your center? Wesco, right?
Wesco, yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
Judith,
I've
let's see
seen
your
you before.
face.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Minister.
Yeah.
okay, so please, I want to leave you now. So thank you very much. And please, if there's anything, let's link up on the page as well.
All right, dog.
If you are reading anything and you want to get further understand, let's continue to use the page to continue the discussion. Thank you very much. But this is what we are also going to do. Please, some of you didn't show your face, so you are going to post your picture with your name and where you are teaching on the page. Please, let's do that so that we can link up or connect each other when there is any opportunity as well. Why?
Okay.
That's what I do. There's this short course I run with Presby University. After every day, we always post our picture with our names so that at least when I see you somewhere, I can recognize you. It's very important. Thank you very much. Have a good
Let's
afternoon.
recognize
for me, there, I will come to Cape Coast personally and to pay you a visit.
Oh, I'll be glad.
Judith.
glad.
Let's recognize
Yes.
you, Judith. In fact, I will check up
Oh,
on
why
you.
you send me? Okay. How you meet?
We shall meet at West School very soon. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hey, Ayima,
No, Kwame.
Ayima, Christine.
Yeah, Steven.
I'm sure we have to change our centers to West School.
You said
We have to
Should you
change
your
our
center to
centers
the
to West
school?
School.
7.
yes. Yeah, I'll change mine to a school.
Yes, we are all coming there.
Yes.
Judith, I know
Yeah.
and you know me, right?
Mouth, you don't know her. You don't know her.
Marvel, why?
You don't know her, Masa. You don't
You
know
are
her.
still trying to know her.
You said
Mouth, you know her.
you know me.
Yeah, don't you know
Do
me?
this.
Index number 6.
Number 6.
Listen, see what you see your brother. You see
Yes,
what Mouth is
You see,
doing.
we don't
he's trying
know
to persuade the
ourselves
lady.
by name, so I don't know. Maybe I've
Index,
seen you, but I don't know you by name.
you see me several.
Crispin, Steve, I beg, move on, madam, for I. Mouth.
All right, then we will meet.
Oh no,
Okay.
Hey, Judy.
7.
Yes. Hey, nti aye ye na
Madam,
emi nti amfrɛ
Madam,
yɛ.
show your face. Madam,
Oh, but I
show your
Madam
called
the
face.
you.
funeral.
Oh, I called though.
Madam, show your face. Steve,
Oh, I called.
Soda.
shoulder. Madam, show your face. Show your face. The
I'm
last time you gave
driving.
us a lift. The last time you gave us a
Sorry,
lift.
I'm driving, so
You have
I
been
can't
giving me
post
lifts.
I can't open my camera right now.
You have been giving me lifts,
So I'll
sir.
put my
God bless
picture
you.
on
I
the
have to
page
give you. You
with
have been
my
giving me
name.
lifts, sir. God bless you.
Oh, you've done well. Mabel,
Oh,
where's
she
Mabel
has been giving
Jemfi?
me lifts. In fact, one day I have to go home and then eat fufu at the end.
7. How are you?
Mabel, where's your face?
May, let's see your face, eh?
Yes,
Hey, Kwame Manfu again.
May, where's your face? Let's see your face.
Let's see it.
Why do you want to see my face?
Ah.
Hi.
Oh, soda. Oh. Oh, it's slow.
Madam, where are you?
Something.
In
Okay, I
fact,
see.
Hey,
our ladies are beautiful.
hey.
Our ladies are beautiful.
Brother May, I see. Nice one. Brother Isaac,
Hey.
show your face.
Mike.
Brother Collins, show your face.
Hey, Chris, where is Crispin?
Oh, Crispin on a call.
Is he gone?
He's gone on a call.
Why you?
Okay, Madam Mabel, fine. Beautiful flower.
Brother Imara Santi, right? We won't prior so.
Ima.
Beautiful.
Okay. Nice one. All right.
Thank you.
All right, bro. You better come. See, boy, you better come. Why, my friend?
Okay, Martin, bro.
Hey,
Okay.
Wabodje no kwate so ohune huna.
Oh, unsana me call make a banner. Unsana me call make Mate. Let me call make a man uncle.
Yes.
Okay. All right. See you, bro. And sisters. Bye.
Steven. Mabel.
Yes, Steven.